When it comes to politics, you don't have to agree, but let's just vote. Time to cover another statewide ballot issue, and if it's an election year, you can bet that we're talking about property taxes. Proposition 120 on your statewide ballot deals with assessment rates. That's the math that determines how much you pay in property taxes. It's a confusing topic, though it should sound familiar because you voted on something similar last year. As politics guy Marshall Zellinger explains, this is a ballot issue voted on by everyone, yet it only affects some people's property taxes.
Proposition 120 has a lot of math. I mean, look at all the numbers. A yes vote means you want to lower the property tax assessment rate for certain property owners. The assessment rate is part of the equation that determines your property tax bill. A yes vote would lower the rate for multifamily homeowners and commercial lodging properties like hotels. This would not lower the rate for single-family homeowners or condo owners. A no vote means you don't want to lower the assessment rate. This comes with an asterisk because of a bill the legislature approved this year. More on that in a moment. Taxable value is your property value multiplied by the assessment rate. That total is used to pay the districts where you live. Here's a City of Centennial example that I've shown before of where property tax money goes. Let's go back. Last year, voters passed an amendment that froze the assessment rates, 7.15% for homes, 29% for non-residential property. So why did some of you get higher property tax bills this year? Because this part of the equation, the value of your property, went up. Every other year, the county assessor revalues property. So once again, you're being asked to lower this part of the equation. A yes vote on Proposition 120 lowers the assessment rate, just not for everyone, for multifamily homes, except for condos, and for hotels, motels, and B&Bs. A lower assessment rate could mean a lower property tax bill and perhaps less money for all these areas in your city and county. So why are single-family homes, condos, and most commercial property excluded from Proposition 120? State lawmakers, that's why. Earlier this year, the legislature created new categories for property, separating single-family homes and condos from multifamily homes, separating lodging property from other commercial property. Lawmakers also approved a temporary drop for multifamily assessment rates. So even if Proposition 120 fails, lawmakers have already approved a 2-year drop in the assessment rate for multifamily homes, which will go back up in 2024.
Clear as mud. Here is the kicker. Kyle, there are more than 2 million residences in Colorado, and because of what the state legislature did earlier this year, a yes vote only changes the assessment rate for 166,000 of those. That's 8% of residences.
So, Marshall, one thing that we're seeing quite a bit of lately is that Republicans who are having a difficult time getting into elected offices are using ballot issues and propositions to get conservative ideas advanced.
And this is, again, something we've talked about in the past with the assessment rate. But because the election didn't happen until November and the legislature met earlier this year, Democrats at the legislature said, what can we do that would impact this ballot measure before people even vote on it? And that's why it's so confusing, because lawmakers did something they legally could do by changing definitions, but this had already qualified for the ballot, and so you're voting on something where the definitions changed after the fact.
It's only a matter of time till candidates start using the nickname like "no new taxes" as well. That'd be a good nickname, or fund schools. That's another great nickname. Thanks for your help with the nickname story as well today, Marshall.